Alright, we're back for another drawing video. Today I'm going to make this one shorter, mainly because I want to try to have a balance between me drawing and making videos alongside watching other people's videos to kind of bring a balance to things. So, today we're going to be drawing the long-awaited Weird Factory. I've been waiting to draw this for a long while now. Now, what the Weird Factory is, it's basically just an area where there's like a crap ton of weird stuff in these ginormous hallways. And what I'm going to be doing is talking about the Weird Factory in this video, and there's the cat, which is perfect because the Weird Factory is made by the Realm of the Cats. That's right. You probably don't know what the Realm of the Cats is. But basically, I made this realm where all the souls of the dead cats from all the universes go to and live out their lives as these weird, cute orange and white cats. With their modern design essentially being they are bipedal and they speak English. Although I'm sure they could speak other language as well. Now the cat's farting, scoffing, and also farting.
You like your bowels? You keep getting gassed already with your bowels.
I've already said about her gas stuff. You don't need to hear it again. Anyways, yes, the Weird Factory is essentially Realm of the Cat made, where all of the cats come to basically, build out the factory and keep it maintained. The factory is basically infinite. It takes all of the weird stuff and made in all of the universes, like every single universe they can think of. Now, we would not be able to get to those universes because in practice or theory or however you'd want to probably describe it, to get to other universes' weird content, you'd probably have to walk the same amount of distance from, maybe not even Earth to the Sun. If anything, it would probably be a case of, if you want to see weird content from, like, other species, intelligent species, like out there past our galaxy, we'd have to walk maybe, probably example, the Sun to the far dwarf Pluto in order to even get to that point of the area. And even so, like, they have their own separate portal set up there for, like, those particular alien species, I'd have to imagine. And you wouldn't come across them until, like, millions of years. Even in their, even once you've gotten past the point where you actually get to see their content, you probably won't see any aliens anytime soon because they're more where their central portal is. It's like, here's our central portal, and here's theirs, and here's the point to get to them. The most common areas would be probably right around here and here, with the point being so far away that you'd have to not only cover the distance to get to the point to see the alien content, but you need to make up half that distance for a chance to see an alien. Of course, none of that really matters because all we're here for is our own content, weird content, stuff you would see on YouTube or video games, or even be weird movies. I got this one game called Neutron Adventure that I think is pretty funny, but would also be pretty weird too. I'll talk about that at some other point, but for now, let's just focus on the nitty-gritty of the Weird Factory. So, the Weird Factory has basically A to Z levels. So, in other words, there's 26 levels to explore. And further down you go, the weirder the content gets, and once you get to a certain point, you get to a point where some weird rooms has a chance of killing you or mentally scarring you. At that point, well, the cats already asked you to sign a waiver in case you do dare go down there. You can ask for a tour, but yeah, it's basically just they show you around the place. They ask you to sign a waiver because, you might go down to there, and if you're feeling adventurous, you might want to go into a weird factory room in Z, which, let me say, is a terrible idea. All of this is going to be drawn out. I do definitely want to draw all of the themes of the weird factory. Matter of fact, let me get a quick reminder on what the upper floors were supposed to be color-wise, because that's what the color is going to be for the lobby. Yeah, it's light blue and light gray. Perfect. And that's only for A. A floor is light blue and light gray. Some colors share this, or some rooms share the same colors. But other than that, it's... Christ, cat. This cat is going berserk. She just does not want to let up every single time. When she's in this mood, she keeps jumping on his chair like a dozen freaking times. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. The Z floor is the lowest floor, and matter of fact, I'm gonna do a quick little glance. Yep, just like it and A, it is the only floor with its own unique color. Every other floor either shares a color with one letter, one floor, or two. Freaking brain just shut down there. Some floors are there are 2 rooms and some are 3, basically. They, I think one might have been 4 as well. I'm just gonna keep working on this. So right here is what is the lobby. Basically, make this bigger because the cats are small, but we are probably like, here is the cat size, with their little heads up here, and their bodies basically like down here. And here is our size, or more than that. They are pretty small. And I do want the doors to be bigger. That I do want. We have at the very... Oh, wait. Hold on. Why am I doing it like this? What I should be doing is this. Expand this out. And boom. Right, before I get off track again, let's talk about the Z floor. The Z floor is dark. The only thing lighting up the Z floor are the red lights above all of the rooms. You might find a green. That means that somebody's in that room and has the balls big enough to dare to go into them. Sure, some of them might not kill you, but the mental scarring alone could potentially ruin your life forever. This is why they make you sign a waiver. Even though, it technically doesn't matter. You're in a completely different dimension. Our rules kind of, are heavily outweighed by the, lack of our territory being here. And of course we cannot own part of the, the weird factory, like the way you would think we'd own something. We can't make rules or regulations, but we can, at the very least, make our own custom room. And now I'll get into that in a minute, but let me continue talking about the Z floor. So, the Z floor has a lot of stuff that will kill you. Or a lot of stuff that will mentally scar you. And you want to avoid it at all costs. Unless there's a specific room that you can go to that that they all know for a fact has a little chance to kill you, or a little chance to scar you, unless you could partake in a certain activity in that room. I don't exactly know what those activities could possibly be, but all we know is that it is 2, 3, 4, 5 pretty dangerous. Risk and reward, if there even is a reward in it. But there is a reason to want to go down into the Z level, and I'll talk about it right now. In the Weird Factory, there is a currency, so to speak. This currency is a digital currency only applicable to the Weird Factory. Obviously, because the particular content needed to, get you this currency can only be acquired from the Weird Factory itself. So don't think you could just turn that currency into something else. No. You could only use it in the Weird Factory, which is fine, because you can use that currency to decorate your own personal room and whatnot, as well as put weird rooms in your rooms that are your favorites. Like you got a favorite video that you want to save, and you don't feel like walking a distance over to the particular room that it's in. So you just have it saved in your personal room, and boom, just take a quick few walk over to there, catch something in that trash can for some reason. She's not even going to the trash can for anything significant. She just wants to play with the freaking paper towels, plates, and whatever the plastic wrap that freaking balled up in there. Dang old can't even have my food with the plastic wrap and throw it out in here. Now I gotta throw it out in the upstairs trash, kitchen trash. Freaking destructive cat. Anyways, where was I? So the currency you acquire works as such. You go on ahead and you participate in watching videos. One way to get that is by watching videos. Some videos have certain objectives that you have to complete while watching it. Let me think. A good example for a video would be, how about that 2 girls 1 cup video, eh? That's weird crap, and that would probably be located somewhere, believe it or not in the middle parts. Nah, man, that's not as weird as some of the middle parts, trust me. It goes to show, and is a good example, that something that weird isn't considered low-level weird or medium weird. Means that whatever lies down below in the Z-floor has got to be something that's, too weird for humans to handle, for us as a species to comprehend. But, at the very least, it gives you a good, I guess you could say, what's the word? Reference point. A good way to help tell you which content would go where. And if that lies somewhere in, I would say probably, I don't know exactly, I would have to take a wild guess of maybe G or H, I at the latest at least. If that's the case, then that means that whatever goes down below that level is, you might not be able to handle it. You might not have the mental capacity to handle it. No, I'm not talking about intelligence. I'm talking about mental endurance. Something so weird that it physically and mentally hurts your brain. Okay, maybe the middle part wouldn't be that weird, but there would be some weird stuff that would be too much for some to handle. For those who are into the whole weird concept of weird stuff, or what would you call it, weird culture? For those who are into that, they would be able to handle it, but even at times they would probably be like, okay, that might be a little bit too much for me, but I handled it well. Anyways, we're off topic here. Yes, the 2 girls 1 cup video. There would be a specific challenge that you can partake in to get extra, let's call them weird tokens. It's perfect, right? Tokens. Kind of like an arcade almost. It kind of is an arcade. You got a bunch of games, some videos, even a movie theater particular area. And what this weird token... wait, I gotta get rid of this circle that I somehow left here. What this weird token gain rate consists of entirely of how weird the content is via the floor levels, and how difficult the challenge is to complete. One challenge would be to consume ice cream while watching that particular video. And the amount you'd get is pretty high. I mean, well, high compared to most of the stuff you see in the more higher floors. Like, I would say A would probably have a base rate of maybe 10 per watches, 100 on the first watch maybe. Challenges vary. Challenges don't go through a specific, I guess you could say, formula. They go by what the cats deem is an appropriate amount for the challenge at hand. We're gonna have a cat here at the desk. What that means is that some challenges on the A floor will, like, that you would think share the same amount of reward rate given certain, I guess, challenge process. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I can't figure out the words that I am seeking. But the point is, some challenges that might share the same similar difficulty rate might have a different reward for completing it. And I don't know if you would be able to complete a challenge like more than once. I would say no, primarily because of another example that I'll be getting into soon, being that it's an achievement, so to speak. You can't get more than one achievement, and you can't get more than one account because your main existence, you as a person, counts as a single account. You cannot transfer that. You cannot delete it. It will always be there no matter what. So you don't have to worry about, like, the Weird Factory, like, taking anything from you, because all the stuff you have in a Weird Factory is gained from this place. There's no need to put in any money in here. And that's another thing. You cannot spend money to get weird tokens. Nah. Because to the cats, the money is unimportant because they don't share the same economy as we do. Matter of fact, the cats don't have a concept of money. They dabble in it with, the weird tokens set up. But in the actual realm of the cats, all the cats are basically doing their own thing. They own their own property without having to pay anything, any rent or any, like... And they do have, like, a certain electric system, which is basically just, a solar generator, Christ and Hyman, a solar generator outside of their universe, constantly putting in power to the more advanced cat civilizations, the one that actually have, like, energy, like this one. The Weird Factory's power system consists entirely of a solar generating, like, giant, think of the Death Star, but it's all solar panels. And there's not a million suns, but, like, there's suns surrounding the entirety of this solar panel star thing. And what this does is provide the cats with infinite energy in this area. Thankfully, though, they have multiple of these systems set up. So, never-ending energy supply in the Weird Factory, which is great. Alright, let me bring this back a bit. I want to put in a staff door here. So on to the currency reward. Let's see how many minutes we're on. I'm thinking of trying to make this like maybe 30, 40 minutes. Trying to maybe get done with the outline. Maybe an hour. I might even decide I'll talk about this part later, but I might even decide to make some Minecraft videos once the new update comes out. Sure, I can go with modded. I have been playing with modded, but we'll talk about that at a different point. At a different point in time. We got Weird Factory to focus on. So I've talked about the video. Movies basically share the same concept. You watch the movie, you get the currency. You complete challenges in a certain movie, you get the currency. There would even be a movie in there with a safe. And there's a secret code, and this code resets at the beginning of every showing. Oh wait, we don't want a normal door, right? We want a sapphire door. We'll put in a manual door hold for in case as a precautionary in case there's no power. And then we'll have like a sensor bar up here or something. So yeah, movies share the same thing, some with even more going on to it. I guess the videos will also share the same potential safe code instance. But no, man, that's simplistic movie achievements and stuff that you can earn pretty easily. Just consume the media, the weird media, and it's all for free too. All of it for free, but it has to be weird. There's no exceptions. If something isn't weird or like, considered weird in the grand census of things, you won't be able to like see it in this place at least. You'd be able to see most weird videos and movies in our universe that we've made for free. But again, that's neither here nor there. That's basically the main selling point of the Weird Factory. You look at these videos and you get weird tokens. So next up, let's talk about the video game part. The video games are different because in video games you do more than simply just watch it. You interact, you do certain achievements. Movies and videos are a pretty easy way to get a quick token increase here and there, but the games are where it's at for when you want bigger rewards with more efforts. So say you have a weird game and there's this really difficult challenge that, let's say, only like 0.01% of players have been able to achieve this achievement. They would be able to get a crap ton of weird tokens from it. Games would be the primary way to get a crap ton of weird tokens. And I'd say there'd be some weird multiplayer games out there that you can play that will essentially give you weird tokens for completing matches. Most of it would be, single player. There would be a decent amount of, multiplayer related or co-op related games, but, a large majority of it would be single player. So single player's achievement list is similar to like most of our achievements here, like complete certain difficulties in certain campaigns or do certain secrets and certain levels. Basically, the usual achievements we all have on PS4, Xbox, and Steam. Difference here being you get weird tokens to decorate your own personal room. When time comes, I'll talk about that. Will I talk about it now? Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, that is the main concept for video games. Achievements give you weird tokens. Completing certain levels give you weird tokens. Multiplayer would be a steady way to get more weird tokens. But of course, some people aren't gamers, and some people just like to watch movies, so that's why they have movies and games. So you got the best of both worlds. You don't have to participate in them, and you can even save the games into your personal room to essentially just have games on the spot. Of course, that room system only really works as you gotta literally walk to there. It's not like on a console or any futuristic dialogue. You have to walk to the room in your place. Me personally, I would probably make like an arcade-esque kind of movie theater hub area. And here's another thing to take into consideration. Completing some achievements will give you exclusive props, decoration, furnishing to decorate your personal room with. I think I talked about enough of the contents of this place. Why don't we talk about the personal room? So, the way this factory works is there's kind of a realm displacement thing. There's like one elevator. You go into it, and whoever's in that elevator gets put into its own separate realm. You're basically in the same area, but this realm makes it so that the elevator that you go in is not an actual elevator. It's like a room, but the room itself, like when you go into the realm, turns into an elevator and moves you down. So, like sort of like a plane of reality. And they have these personal room elevators on the side as well. They have more of those, like in case like a bunch of people try to troll and stay in the middle of the elevators instead of moving it. Don't try to sneak into people's places, or like that wouldn't work. Try to hitch a ride into people's personal rooms, which you can't. Personal rooms are different in pocket dimension wise, but the plane shift is important for how the elevator system works. And when you get off the elevator system, you go back into the normal plane if there's nobody else on the plane in that area. So, and the good thing about this is it takes into consideration the plane of which you and another person is outside of the original plane. So if both of you are still in the same, occupying the same space in that plane, you will not automatically be brought to the original plane until you are in an empty space. And this means you might run into the chance of accidentally bumping into somebody. You appear in somebody's face and are like, oh, what the hell? But no, thankfully the cats have a certain system in place to kind of prevent that from happening by giving both of you more than enough room for the system to recognize that, oh, you're good. We can put you back into the plane again. Now, the way this works for the personal elevators is you have somebody trying to hitch a ride. But yeah, that. Somebody tries to hitch a ride, and you have the system set to only you or a select party, quote unquote. You can bring other people into your personal rooms as well, which makes it so that you can do like couch co-op gaming in your own personal room, or you're sick and tired of the life here and just want to live in the Weird Factory, which you can. You can live in a Weird Factory. Your personal room can also come with a food and drink place that the ROTC cats can like go and work in. They work there for free, but that's mainly because they're all volunteer cats. They always have something to do in the Weird Factory, and if they don't like it, they move to either into a different position in the Weird Factory or go back to their original place in the realm of the cats, and boom. They live their lives as if nothing changes. A replacement cat gets put into position, and everybody's happy. Nobody's screwed over. There's always a staff there. There's trillions of Realm of the cats. Sure, the Realm of the Cats village is quite small, but the amount of cats that pass away in this universe and all the other universes means that they have to go somewhere. But we're not going to talk about that. On to the personal rooms. So like I said, takes you into your own realm with you or your friends, and the person trying to hitch a ride disappears from your point of view. And you're brought into a different pocket dimension. And what this pocket dimension is, it's similar to the Weird Factory and how it's built. Because essentially what the Weird Factory is this ginormous box with a whole bunch of halls and rooms leading into all those weird areas. And it goes endlessly. Surrounding it is basically a black box, which makes it look like it's completely dark and full of darkness out there. And then, you're sent into your own personal room with the same setup, the same black box. This one's different because it's ever expanding. If you were to have it set up to where you can leave your own personal room and walk out into the dark areas, it only goes as far as the bottom area. And the cats have it set up to where The gravity there is adjusted a tiny bit when you walk out there, sort of like low gravity. So anybody who wants to try to like skydive off of their rooms that are like 20 stories high, they'll slowly float down when they're outside. It only really applies to the more, you set up a door leading to the blackness and there's like enough space, because it only goes as far as the room goes. Like if you got a room all the way to the left, there's a wall to the left side. But if you have that room that's all the way to the left and the room up here, this all area is empty, blank space. They make it set up so you can't jump off like a fool. If you got yourself set up a weird factory and you're like, I wonder. Morbid curiosity, because you're like, this seems like a dream. I mean, it does seem like a dream. A whole bunch of cats walking around, talking, with this entire weird factory setup, and you leave your life on Earth to live here instead? You would have to imagine you're dreaming. And you imagine, hey, maybe I can fly around my place. Don't try that. Or do. You'd get to float down. All right, hold on. Let me remember what I wanted to do here. This is the receptionist area. This is essentially where you go with to get information on what room you want from the cats themselves. They got their own little like holographic keyboard here, and they got their own monitors behind here. Matter of fact, if they're going to have their own monitors, why don't I try to... No, that wouldn't work. Perspective-wise, that would still do that. But yes, personal rooms can be lived in. And they do encourage it for those who, have a hard time in reality here. For the homeless, they have a place they can go. I mean, so long as they consume weird content. Wait, do I want this to be that? No. So long as they consume weird content and gain enough currency to get at least a basic food stand, drink stand session going, and basic furnishing bedroom. The cats also have like a certain weird video seminar that they have in like the number one first room outside of like the front door, where you watch it and you get all the basic components for the creation of your own personal room, which is pretty neat. You got some basic stuff like living room furnishing, kitchen furnishing, stuff like that. If you like cooking, they allow you to cook your own food. They would even have ingredient stands or something. And the good thing is, the food is relatively affordable too. There are certain stands, though. When you buy it, you get all free access to it because of how expensive it is to actually get it. Let me think of a good example. There'd be at least a ginormous buffet room that you can purchase that costs like either $1 million or $10 million. Now, that's a lot, but it makes sense. Anybody who has that room is a good connoisseur of weird stuff. Or is a gambling man and went to the Z floor to get the freaking the bang and the buck. Which, let me tell you, that is risky. I would not advise you to go to the Z floor. Even if you know you're going to come out fine, I would advise to go against going into the Z floor. Now, my brain comes up with certain things and scenarios, and I have to imagine that those scenarios equate to certain room levels. Anything we think of that's weird can be found here. So like I said, that Neutron Adventure game that I had in mind. I can't make it because, well, we can't make money off of Hugh Neutron, a character from Jimmy Neutron. He's not my character. But you can get it here. You can get it here. I also can't make it because it involves Dick Planet. You don't know what Dick Planet is? Well, let's just say, once when Hugh Neutron was 7 years old, he sat on a banana. Of course, that changed his life. So, of course, the one planet he comes across would reminded of a traumatic event. And of course, it's not pleasant. When I imagined Dick Planet, it's not pleasant. It's really weird. It's definitely up there in the weird. It would make if I were to have to take a wild guess as to where Neutron Adventure would reside. Because you got the suicidal ducks who are trying to kill themselves to kill Hugh Neutron because, if he sees a duck dying, he can't save them. And, he pops. He gets killed. It's like there's some natural reaction his body makes that pops him out of existence. The ducks know that. They're trying to kill him. So they're like a worthy sacrifice to kill this trespasser on our planet. I don't know why I'm going into Neutron Adventure talk right now. But yes, stuff that we come up with in our minds would be placed within the Weird Factory. Because essentially what would be is either an alternate universe version of us or somebody else with the same idea, making it in their universe, and then the cats take that and put it in here. That's how they get their weird content, stuff made in other universes. And because we made these things in our heads, or, at the very least in some form of concept, but we're never able to get all of the resources or the budgeting for it because of certain reasons and moral reasons, that content and all that concept would not be wasted, for it would be located in another universe, and the cats are there to grab that. Any weird thought you have can be located in the Weird Factory. There's also weird photos as well, but I don't know how that would work. Go in, sit down, picture, get your weird tokens. It could work. It could definitely work. Part of me is wondering if I should open this up so we have the hallway there. But no. Because that's a lot to put in, and we're not going to have enough space. I'll think about it. It's been almost 40 minutes. So we got time. I'm going to put in a path. And what this path is, it will lead us over to the door as well as close to the receptionist. This should be like this. Alright, well, where were we talking? We were talking about our weird creations becoming reality, but what led us into that conversation, I do not remember. Well, we were talking about the buffet, so let's go back to that conversation. So, oh yeah, I remember now how we got into that conversation. Right. Okay, so brace yourself, people, because I have a thought of a particular thing that would be located in the Z floor. That of which I personally would go in because, I don't know about you guys, but when I look at this particular type of content, I imagine myself in the girl's position. You guys probably want to imagine yourself in the guy's position. I don't know. To me, I find that weird. That's why I only look at girl-on-girl stuff. So when I talk about this, I'm talking about this one particular room in the Z floor. It's essentially, before I get into this, let me tell you there is interactive rooms that feels like you're taken to a different dimension. So you walk into it, it's interactive, you interact with it. And before I actually go into that, a really good example would be you walk in this room and then you find yourself in a maze. This would be the one Z floor room that's not deadly, but could be deadly for those who have bad heart conditions. But you go into this room and this maze, and you're offered with an objective to locate some certain objective. I don't know exactly what it is. And there's a monster chasing you. When this monster catches you, it picks you up, turns you around face to face, screams in your face, and bolts over to the exit and tosses you out into the hallways. Then the door closes as it screams and it walks back into the maze. Not deadly, but if you have bad heart condition, you could get a heart attack because this thing just appears out of nowhere. Well, not nowhere. It appears around the corner, and you think you're about to die. That's kind of interactive experience that I'm talking about. Now onto what I was talking about before. Anybody know about tentacle hentai? Yes, that. Well, there's a certain room in the Z floor that's essentially a tentacle hentai experience, where you get to experience that yourself. If you're into that sort of stuff, great. Easy weird tokens, bro. And just make sure to avoid the deadly rooms. What I imagine it is a hub. Like, you walk into it and it's a hub room with a bunch of doorways. And the certain doorways have certain icons that shows you what's in there. So, like, basic stuff, or there's slimy stuff. There's one that's literally a cactus that's deadly and will kill you if you go into it. Although I guess if you know you're about to die in like a day because of some deadly disease and you're like, well, the last thing I want to try now is this. There you go. Can't imagine how that feels. I've had thoughts of drawing it before, but I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I can draw this as a hardcore mature drawing, but at the same time, I'm not into guru. So, I gotta imagine it feels painful. You got these spikes going into you, like, probably like, oh god, I'm imagining it right now. I can't. Nah, man, that's just pain, internal bleeding, and all that crap. That would probably be another reason why it's Z, is because it's got a death room in there. You can die in that room if you go into the wrong place. But if you're into that crap, easy, probably like 1 million weird tokens. Plus, you get to experience something you can't experience IRL, which is great. People get to live out their fantasy in the Weird Factory. Want to play a game as Hugh Neutron? Boom. Want to get fucked by tentacles? Boom. Want to get your heart exploded because this monster screams in your face and tosses you into the hallways? Boom. There you go. I can't imagine that's pleasant. I mean, the other two options are pleasant. I don't know, unless you want to experience rage and frustration. When I thought about Neutron Adventure, I thought about this rage game with semi-clunky controls and like certain aspects to it that kind of just is annoying to have to deal with. But I don't know, maybe you like rage games. Maybe you want to be a frustrator or something. Alright, let me see. We're going in almost 50 minutes. It's pretty good time right here. But yeah, that's the premise of the Weird Factory. Go into deeper levels and you get more weird tokens. You go into the Z levels in the areas that you know are safe, or at the very least you know for a fact it won't kill you if you don't go into a certain area. You can become pretty rich. Want to play the maze game with your friends? You can. It'll make it a hell of a lot easier because that'll mean the monster will have more people to scare and toss out, and you'll have more time to find your objective. It's probably not easy still because you still gotta escape the room, but you got a better chance. I mean, I'd imagine there's a challenge achievement to go in solo. You get more for completing it. But yes. Alright, this is all I can think of right now. Should I put an elevator here? An elevator here doesn't really make much sense. Now, an elevator in the middle makes more sense because it aligns with the room here. But an elevator taking you over to your personal room would make more sense as well. Especially if I'm implementing the rule thing. Yeah, there's going to be an elevator right here. Right here. Right in this spot. That the way we get to see it every morning. And Yeah, it makes sense to reduce it down to one elevator per, especially if they have a plane mechanic working here to prevent people from following you into your personal rooms. It keeps them on the original plane while putting you on a separate plane until you leave the pocket dimension of the Weird Factory and enter your personal room. Man, I would love for this room, or for this Weird Factory to exist. Part of me is like, all I gotta do is draw it. Just draw the Weird Factory and all the hallways, and boom. It becomes real. The cats open up a portal and advertise it to our place. I try to get into contact with the cats, and boom. Say goodbye to this planet. Actually, yeah, if this planet's gonna die out soon, there's no better place for me to go to than the Weird Factory. So long as we are able to, cache all of our content. And I'd like to think, because I am technically the creator of Weird Factory, that the cats would do me the solid, the flavor, and bring all that content here. Maybe even make another floor. A floor above the A floor for all the content that we've made that isn't weird. Call it the special floor, which is only the special floor is only as big as our world has created it. I guess that means what do you call it? Well, that would be a pain in the ass to try to get around. So I'd have to imagine the cats would have a certain storage area for all of that stuff. Maybe it could just be for storage. It doesn't have to be for content. I mean, if they want to try to keep it the same as our own content, or same media, I mean, if the same media is the way that we've done everything, TV, cable, then they could just have that on an internal server on that particular floor. What would that floor be called? The Earth floor? You got the A floor, or the human floor. It could be the human floor. And we'll see. We'll see. If I make enough creations that have the ability to cross between dimensions, one day one of them will show up and prove that theory right. Until then, I'm just gonna keep on assuming that the world's still full of mysteries and we still won't know what's true or not until it decides to show us it. Don't get me wrong, I would love to be able to go to this place. And if anything, to experience the weird games that I've thought of alone. But, all we can do now is just hope. Hope that we can gain access to this place after I've created it. Could you imagine the stuff we'd see? There'd be a whole new world of content. YouTube videos of all these new free games that they can all make in their own personal rooms. It'd be great. Awesome. Hell, I want that to be a reality now. Hopefully, maybe one day, we'll see. But for now, let's just live in our fantasy world until it maybe happens. Who knows? Will it happen? Won't it happen? Well, only time will tell. How cool would it be to... any OC creator out there, anybody who's created their own character, how cool would it be if we got to meet our own creations in person? That'd be great. Alright, this button here is going to call the elevator, or open the elevator door. It'd be great if I could meet my own creations. I think I've already talked about that in the other video with test of strength. Alright, the outline here is done. I'm gonna end it here. Alright? Shorter video. I'm gonna work on a color shading and texturing process while watching something else in the background. And I'll probably make the second part while I'm drawing the ROTC cats themselves. And I'm probably gonna do the hallways and all that stuff, off camera. Or maybe I do the first hallway first, and then we have all the color variations coming in at an end point. But yeah, this was basically just a place for me to talk about the Weird Factory. We'll have a part 2. There's more to the Weird Factory than this, and I would like to talk about it. I'm going to have the description telling you everything that you need to know about this, but yes. The Weird Factory hotline, at the very least, is done. Might add more, who knows? We'll see what happens. In the meantime, like and subscribe, ring that there bell, and see you in the next video. Hiccups. Later.